While you do have the option of writing XanoScript directly inside of Xano, did you know that you can also do so in your favorite IDE? In this video, I'm going to show you how to install the XanoScript VS Code extension, how to use it, and I'm going to show you a couple demos of it in action. Before we get started, you do want to make sure that you have a workspace ready in Xano. This can be a fresh blank workspace or one you've already been building in. I have one right here. Head over to the VS Code Marketplace and go ahead and install the XanoScript extension. In VS Code, we'll click Open. I'm going to create a new folder to hold my Xano project. And then we'll just click Open. Over here on the left, we'll click this Xano icon, and then we'll choose Get Started and log into Xano. This is going to open up Xano, and you'll log in with your Xano account. Now that we're logged in, we'll choose our instance, we'll choose our workspace, and we'll choose our branch. The extension is going to ask if we should pull the changes from Xano, and you're probably going to want to say yes to this, at least for the first time. This will bring everything that we have in Xano over to VS Code. You can see the progress down here in the corner. The next question it's going to ask is if you want to set up AI agent instructions. I also recommend saying yes to this, especially if you're going to be using Copilot. Copilot is going to need this so it actually knows how to write XanoScript and knows how to write it well. So that takes just a second, and now we can go over to the Explorer, and we can see all of the stuff that we have in Xano is now in VS Code. So there's all our APIs, and we have our tables here. This is just a very basic to-do app, just for the sake of an example. So now we can build in XanoScript right here in VS Code. So now I'm just going to build a new API right here in VS Code. Put it in my to-do app API group, and I'm going to call this delete list. This is going to be a delete endpoint. And after some movie magic, we have our new API right here, which will delete to-do lists that belong to a specific user. So we first get the record of that to-do list. We check to see if the authorized user is the user that owns that list. And if they are, then we go ahead and delete that list. So let's save this. Now we'll head back over to the XanoScript panel. And the first thing we want to do is stage our changes. Staging just means you're getting them ready to push to Xano. So we can do that by hovering over one of these changes here and just clicking the plus sign, or we can hit this plus sign right here to stage all of the changes at once. Now that that is staged, we can click this option here to push those staged changes to Xano, and you can see the progress down in the lower right-hand corner. So now those changes have been pushed, and let's go over to Xano, and we can see that delete task endpoint is now right here with all of the steps that we wrote in XanoScript in VS Code. Now, this is not just a one-way sync either. This is two ways. So we can make changes in Xano, and then we'll see them in VS Code as long as we pull them. So let's go ahead and add a custom error message to this precondition. We're just going to add something a little bit more descriptive that says the user does not own this list. We'll go ahead and save that, and let's publish our changes. Now let's go over to VS Code. Let's pull the latest changes from Xano. And now we can see that error message that we added in Xano is now available in VS Code. The VS Code extension does all the things that you would expect an extension like this to do. You can hover over various elements of what you're writing to get an example of how it should be written, as well as a description and an explanation on that specific item. And that's for anything. That's for functions, that's for entire block types, that's for primitive types like a query or a table or a function. Basically anything in your code you should be able to hover over and get some kind of explanation and an example of how it should be written. The extension will of course check your syntax as well, so you can write your XanoScript with confidence. Now of course, ultimately we're here to not only build with the speed of AI, but have that same reliability and security and compliance that we expect from Xano. Let's use our Copilot to actually add on to this application. I'm going to go ahead and close this file, go ahead and open the Explorer, and now I'm going to switch our model to GPT-4.1. We found that GPT-4.1 is kind of the best at writing XanoScript right now. That will of course change as the models have more training data on XanoScript, but of course it's very new right now, and 4.1 is what we recommend. I'm going to ask it to add the ability for users to share their lists with other users, view only. It's going to present us with a plan, and it's going to get right to work. So it looks like it's creating a list shares table right now, and it's going to push that to Xano. So we'll go ahead and allow that. And it looks like we're getting a new API as well called share list. Let's take a look at that. And then we have another API called lists shared with me. And we're also editing the get lists API. Let's go ahead and just always allow these changes to be pushed. Okay, so it looks like it made those changes. Now, of course, AI is never going to be 100% accurate. It looks like we might have a little error here. Okay, so everything looks good here. Let's go ahead and keep all of these changes. Now, we don't need to stage or push these changes because they were pushed to Xano as they were written by Copilot. Back in Xano, we can see that new list shares table here, and we can see the APIs that Copilot added right here. The only other thing that I would really mention here, and we have a whole separate video on this, is the option to upload static files. So in Xano, you can actually host your front end right alongside your back end. And to do that, you would just create a new folder in the root of your project called static and put all of your front end files in there and then push them to Xano with the extension. If for any reason you need to reset, maybe you're running into some kind of issue or you just want to start fresh, you can click this reset and sync workspace option here. And you can, of course, pull changes from Xano at any time. So that's just a quick look at the XanoScript VS Code extension. But before we go, I just want to try one more thing. So in VS Code, I'm going to go back to open. I'm going to create a new folder. And we'll go ahead and open that up. Go over to XanoScript. I'm going to click Get Started. Let's log in to Xano. Okay, now we'll pick our instance and our workspace. And then we'll pick our branch, pull changes. And as soon as this is done, we will have it generate the agent instructions. Okay, so now we are ready to build. And I am just going to see if we can do a little bit of vibe coding here. Build me a backend for a to-do app. And tell it to keep it simple, fancy, just in MVP. Go ahead and switch to GPT-4.1 and let's see what it does. Okay, so it looks like it's creating our table for the to-do app. I'm not sure if this is for, looks like this is just for tasks. And then we've got some APIs. Looks like this one is to add a new task, maybe. Update existing tasks. Oh, this one is to list them, and then we have one to update and then delete. Okay. It's pushing the changes to Xano. Okay, it looks like the MVP is complete. Minimal to do with user ID. Title is completed. So all the really basic stuff that we would expect from a to-do app. Actually, this might be a little bit too basic for what I would consider a complete to-do app, but it was a simple prompt. I didn't get too detailed, so I'm not mad at it. What's important to me is that it wrote all of the APIs. It wrote the tables for me. I didn't have to really do anything beyond just typing a prompt. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, now build me a simple front end. I'm actually going to switch to Sonnet 4.5 for the to-do app MVP. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it static. Store. I'm going to say store it in the static folder. And so because the XanoScript extension, of course, has knowledge of everything that it has built, you know, it has my whole workspace here. It can grab the open API spec from our workspace as well. And it's going to use all of this to, of course, build the front end like we would expect the AI to do. Now, what I'm really interested to see is, again, because I didn't get really specific at all about what I wanted in this, what I would love to see is when I open up this front end, assuming it works, is that we have authentication. So I want to be able to like sign up for a new account because I don't have any users in the database. I can, of course, add users if I want to, but it would be cool if we had just basic sign up and login as well as that basic to-do app logic. Looks like it's uploading it to our Xano static hosting. We'll go ahead and allow that. Okay, so it says our front end is complete and it's been uploaded to Xano. So let's just open this up and see what we get. So here's our to-do app. Doesn't look like we have any auth. That's okay. I'm going to say film Xano 2.0 videos. Go ahead and click add. And there is our to-do list. Let's go back to the dashboard, and we can see that to-do table here. And of course, we have all of those APIs that Copilot created for us. Let's take it one step further. I'm going to say add, sign up, and login. So obviously, we don't need to sit here and watch me build an entire front end, but the point of this is the experience of using the VS Code extension. We opened up a workspace we already had, we made some changes, we were able to make changes in Xano and then see them in VS Code right away and kind of go through that flow. And then we were also able to fire up a new workspace, completely blank, vibe code an entire backend for a simple application, and then code the front end as well. And the extension then took that front end and moved it over to Xano, and it's just hosted right there, right alongside that same backend. So it's just interesting to kind of compare it to the current experience of AI app builders, where it's just one prompt and they kind of try to do the whole thing for you, but they typically don't get you all the way there. And with this, you still have kind of that same experience, but we get to go in Xano, we get to verify what it's built, we get to iterate visually or with code, and we get that same kind of scalability, security, and compliance that we already know and love from Xano. So it's really kind of a new and really interesting way to kind of look at this whole kind of vibe coding idea and give it a little bit more credibility. Looks like we're deploying our updated front end right now, and that's completed. And let's go ahead and open this up again. Okay, so let's go ahead and sign up to chris@xano.com, and my password is super secure, definitely. Let's see if we got an error there. Okay, so it looks like the sign up button doesn't do anything. And you know what? That's fine. I'm not mad at that. The whole point of this was to show you, of course, XanoScript with the VS Code extension. The whole trying to build a front end thing was just a nice little bonus, but it did give us something functional. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, in just a few minutes, we were able to spin up an entire backend, spin up a front end, have it all hosted in Xano. And we, of course, have the ability to iterate super easily, visually, or with code. So thank you so much for watching. That's just a quick look at the XanoScript VS Code extension. If you have any questions, definitely let us know. Otherwise, keep watching to learn more about how to build in Xano.